you guys decided that the best way to triangulate a single location? How are you decided with the 3 clues I've given you? Have you guys all decided is the best way to figure out one specific location?
There are a variety of different ideas. There is no consensus.
We're baffled, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Even so, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna confirm or deny, but even now, people are still discussing the various different ways in which one can confirm one singular location off of 3 clues.
You've stumped us even more.
Well, I think
So all I'm gonna say is my theory. So I went back to basics. I took it right back and went back to stage 1, and I got the most beautiful, neatest way where each clue is in isolation and it gives you a thing. Now, it could be argued for some people will believe that thing is a what 3 words location. Other people might see it as a location at which you can then connect up different things and find where a middle point is of that. If it's obviously what 3 words, you would get a what 3 words location. You'd be able to search that. I'm doing the location one and then basing that on searching for the just see if what 3 words supports it.
Okay.
I mean, I thought you said something the comment you made yesterday, Max. I think a lot of people have taken that to mean it is what 3 words. Although
I don't want to confirm nor deny, but
I know.
say
That was just a response to your question.
That the accuracy of the website was incorrect.
Yeah.
You mean what 3 words itself?
Yeah.
Sorry?
You mean what 3 words itself is inaccurate?
The website, which was posted in the Discord.
There's been many websites posted.
I think Max means the website that a guy made yesterday that would let you predict what the 3rd word would be in a sequence.
Yeah. Did the real 3 words not show up then?
Well, you can just.
I'm no comment. No comment.
I like that.
Max.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah. Hello.
Go on.
Wait,
You're right.
Okay, thank you. I was just gonna say, did you think people would take this long to sort of kind of try and figure it out, or did you think someone would get it sooner than they have?
If I'm honest, I really didn't know. We designed this for it to be solved. Now I think that obviously I would like it to be solved kind of as soon as possible. And so we're probably going to be, depending on situations, we might be ramping up with more clues in the coming days. But I've absolutely no idea. Me and Mystery Man, like.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, I presumed that you would have thought it would have been found a bit sooner.
Who's going to get involved with this kind of thing? So yes, but I should have also known that without all 3 clues, the treasure was not. It would be very unlikely you'd be able to find the treasure without all 3 clues.
But possible.
Will Candace tell us where it is in the end?
Who?
Tom.
Max, can I ask a very quick question?
Yes.
So, something that I know we won't be able to go fully in detail with this, but something that I think is one of the big things that we're all kind of wondering, and some people are going one route, some people are going the other route. But I was just wondering if it's possible, if you can say whether or not that the clues themselves, the poems, are deduction based or if they are association. Because some people are trying to find a location and then finding things in there that are near it. Some people are just trying to solve them and get an answer. Is it the deduction or is it more the association? If you're able to speak on that.
This is what I'll say is that if you look at clue 1, which there is seemingly an overarching opinion as to what is correct with clue 1. That's not for me to say. But that process in which people have achieved clue 1 would also be the same for clue 2 and 3.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what I was
argued black and blue that it's got to be the similar format.
Yeah.
I knew that bit. It was the maximum thing for me that I didn't. At start I was a full believer of, and now.
I have you have no idea what correct answer I'm talking about. There have been huge amounts of different people.
There has only been one that has been consistently high.
Guys, don't do that.
No, I know it's very true not to do that, but there is only one. I mean, I still believe in my other word.
Max,
Well, yeah.
how frustrating is it when people are sort of dwindling around the right answer and not getting it?
It's not that frustrating. That's not the frustrating bit. The frustrating bit is getting the same question on kind of like social media, thinking that they are the first person to ask that question. That is frustrating. The most common is, "Oh, come on, lads, tell me where it is."
Where's the Fosh Dosh? No, where's the Dosh Fosh?
There you go.
There must be a.
No, not at all. Because ultimately, it's very easy. The curse of knowledge is always one that is tricky. So from my point of view, yes, it seems, oh my god, this is so simple. But obviously, that's because I've known the answer for a number of weeks now. So, yeah. No, I could not possibly comment on the intelligence of my audience. You guys are all incredibly smart. Yeah, fine. Months, weeks. I'm not going to. You're not going to be able to deduct a reason out of me of how long I've known.
I think someone else. Tamsin, were you going to ask a question as well?
Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously, with the amount of time it's taking for people to sort of, obviously, no one seems to have a clue where it is or anything. Do you think it'll get to a point where you'll just only be able to give confirmers and not clues anymore? Because there must be a point where you can't really give actual clues. You just have to confirm or deny certain
I have
things.
spoken to Mystery Man. He's gone to bed now. So it can't be.
Wait, guys,
it's
quickly check. Is
Brad
Brad
gone.
Johnson
Brad's
still
gone.
in
I know he's
gone.
here. Is it? Let him speak.
Apologies.
So Mystery Man has gone to bed, but I spoke to Mystery Man early today, and I explained the situation. He said, "Don't worry, I'll let you know." There is also an element of time pressure in me needing the treasure to be found relatively soon, and so he is going to be coming up with a process in which we will be able to be releasing more information about the location of the treasure. Whether that is confirmers, whether that's more clues, I don't know. He's the expert in all of this. Now, I don't want there to be a position in which I kind of jump the gun and ruin it, because the last thing I want to do is to have a lot of you very angry at me for slipping up at some point.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
It must be very tricky because obviously wherever it is a location that people can access. So there must be that element of trying to keep it contained where it is, so it's not just blown up or anything, but also so people can actually access it.
I'm not worried. I'd be very happy leaving the briefcase where it was for the next couple of months. Like I've got no worries that it's going to. Sorry. Shut up. Yeah, okay. I'm on the train. Yeah. So I have no worries about the briefcase being left in its location for a number of months. But it's like I've got no problem about that. It's just that I want it to be found, basically.
You know what? Yeah. If you had put it in like America or somewhere, and then the amount of what 3-word names that we've got, which work beautifully, but they're not in the UK.
It is in the UK. Don't worry.
Have you also heard the thing about there is an island called mainland UK, and one evening late at night we were actually really concerned that you may have put it not in the mainland of the UK, but on mainland in the north of the UK.
That's classic kind of confirmation, like a bias to what you think is going on. Like it's got absolutely nothing to do with the clues, but the fact that one Instagram post I tagged somewhere in the UK, I love it.
Max, can I ask a question?
What another thing is, the confirmation you've given of the pub. Is that the only confirmation, or is there any confirmations within the clue? You don't need to say what clue or how it is, but is there any confirmations within the clue?
What, within the 3 clues?
Yeah, just anywhere within the 3 clues. Is there some kind of confirmation as well as just your answers?
No.
Thank you.
Oh
I
shit!
think I've only just joined. Sorry, if anyone wants to ask a question first.
I think Lewis might have had a question.
Okay, yeah, Lewis, go on.
Maybe it wasn't Lewis that had the question.
Okay,
Somebody sounded like Lewis had the
I'll
question.
go if no one else wants to.
Okay, yeah, you go.
Oh, can I go?
So the pub in question,
Okay.
is the name of the pub, something that can be found within the clues, or is it literally it's just a pub?
No, it's just a pub. It's just
Okay.
a pub. And remember, guys, the confirmer's got nothing. I was never planning on releasing the name of the confirmer. So I was never planning on releasing the confirmer, I should say. There is no name of the confirmer. So the confirmer is essentially totally moot. It's purely, as I said multiple times, it's purely a way that if you have a theory, you can just double check that you're not going to be going in the middle of nowhere.
Max, as it's just a confirmer, could you say, obviously you say it's a certain amount of steps, do you mean literal footsteps or like actual like stair steps? Because that's just.
Please remember the rule of the I'm not going to answer that, but remember the rule.
Wheelchair accessible. Everyone's
It has got to be. It is wheelchair accessible.
Are we talking where the crow flies, or how you've walked to it?
Steps are steps, guys.
Could
I ask a question?
3 steps is, according to an average pace, it's like, I think 0.07 miles, if that.
Right.
It's like not far.
Guys, I don't know why you're focusing on the confirmer. You're not going to work it out from the confirmer. So all of these questions are totally arbitrary.
It's to avoid thinking hard about the clues.
May I ask?
Max, we're trying to erase.
May I ask a question, guys?
Yeah, sorry.
Could you be more specific on pub? I don't know if you've already answered this, Max, so I do apologise. Can you be more specific with public and private land? Is it?
I think no, because I don't want to get into a kind of a lawful debate here. But I think there is a relative element of common sense and just common sense as to whether you know whether it's private or public land. Yes, like someone asked me whether a church was private or public land. No, it's not. It belongs to a church.
There was actually one interesting case that I came across. I didn't actually research it too much, but like commons, which I always assumed were publicly owned, people can graze their animals on it or whatever, are in fact privately owned, or maybe privately owned.
Okay, I mean that
places that have stewardships. So like Port Meadow in Oxford, for example, was under the stewardship of Freeman, so it's technically private property.
My point there again is not to try to bamboozle you, but it's to stop people from jumping over fences into gardens and rootling around in kind of bins of businesses because they think they know where it is.
Right. So legal definitions are basically, it's more common sense than legal.
Yeah, it's much more common sense, and I bet you like someone's going to find the fact that where the treasure actually is owned by one person 400 years ago, and I'm going to get in trouble. But the point is to stop, as I said, people rootling around in people's private property.
Max, is the pub a pub, or is a pub a bar, or a pub a bar restaurant?
You stop focusing on the pub.
The pub is a pub. It's just a pub. I mean, it might be a gastro pub. I don't know, but it's a pub.
Have you had a pint there?
I haven't. I haven't had a pint there. No.
Did you have to go back to this pub to count exactly how many steps it was?
No comment.
Quick question unrelated to the hunt. How's the whole process been? Like, I know you've released all the clues, but like, how's it been for you, Max?
It'd be really interesting to see how people kind of tackle the problems. Obviously, you guys are very much the hardcore like searchers of this, but it seems like the majority of my audience is kind of a bit sick of it and just wants to know where it is. And like whenever a new clue comes out, they can't be asked to actually look at it and work it out. They just want to know the answer. So that's one of the reasons why I just want it to be solved quite quickly, because
Max,
you guys are very much
seeing all the far-fetched theories. Is
Sorry?
that frustrating? Is it frustrating seeing all the far-fetched theories?
No, not at all. It's not frustrating at all. It's interesting to see how people's minds work and how when people get an idea that they're right, they will literally drive for hours and hours to try and confirm that they're right. That's been something that's been so fascinating.
That thing I read it earlier where like that guy was like, "Oh, this idea has been thwarted by a single no footpath sign."
Yeah, I would like to apologise to anybody who has gone out and spent hours and hours searching,
be
all
honest,
for it
That's
to be
all part of the
fruitless.
fun.
That's part of the fun.
That's all
Yeah, I
part
guess
of it.
so.
And Max,
I
you,
guess.
you know one of the well, maybe not unexpected, but one of the benefits of doing it is just learning lots of interesting things about the UK.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think with that, and I think I don't just speak
Yeah,
to
I bet.
myself here, I speak to it
I
for a
bet
few
you guys
people.
are going to be incredibly well.
Honestly, if I ever go on Mastermind, the Mogul Empire is like my new specialist subject.
but I think what has also been quite special and quite lovely is there are some really decent people in this Discord, and a number
Yeah.
of people have been talking about like keeping the Discord going afterwards. So yeah, this isn't
Guys,
just you haven't just
please
done
do.
yeah, here's a thing that people can go and do in
Yeah.
their spare time or anything. It's been a bloody nuisance in many ways, Max Fosh. I did not sleep last night, but it's been an absolute joy as well. And
Yeah, it's
some
like-
people, in fact, right now as we speak, are camping together. There's about 5 people on
That is
adventure together.
bonkers. Where are they? I kind of want to go
Cornwall.
see them.
No,
Cornwall,
we're not.
Max.
We can't
Do
do
you know
that.
what's great as well? 2 of the people are Eggy and Adam.
No, we didn't go.
They didn't
Bro,
go.
no,
Oh,
we didn't
damn.
go. We didn't go.
go.
No, we
Oh,
didn't
you
go.
were here.
I am here. The new clue
Yeah.
bugged us up, so we just didn't go.
I know
we
it is
did.
cheesy, but this has been a whole like such a fun process. Like I know there are people on like the channel who like are obviously just going to be into it for the money, but like that, I know it's cheesy, but the whole community here just unmatched. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to
So
hear, guys. Good
Max
to hear.
Fosh Discord is our home.
Oh, look at the couple in Hunt General. They're being so cute. Oh.
No, bless them.
Egg and Aiden being cute again.
Max, can you answer just another question? What is your take on Brad Johnson's eye? I think it is.
Yeah, he looks quite young from the eye picture.
Oh, see, I think the eye's seen some things. I think that eye looks haggard.
Yeah, the eye does look quite haggard. No, I tell you what, that eye looks like it's trying to look haggard and scary, but it's actually just someone who's quite chill.
Max, are you actually
Max?
Brad Johnson?
I'm not Brad Johnson, no.
Confirmed.
Do you think you'll ever do anything like this again, in the sense of like something? Because obviously a lot of us have found it very interesting, but obviously some people are sick of it. So do you think you do something kind of similar, on the sense that it follows a lot of videos and people have to be dedicated, or would you kind of scrap that idea because obviously some people just don't get on with it, you know?
I think what I would do is, I think in the future I would do a 1 video clue. I think I'd do it once, and then just like kind of like a Forrest Fenn, give a long poem or a long clue, and leave it for for 6 months, a year, 2 years, or however long it needs to be.
Yeah.
The problem is that there needs to be a cash reward large enough for it to be worth it. Like with Forrest Fenn, it was $2 million, and so that is worth spending 10 years trying to find. £10,000 isn't quite that amount of money.
I mean,
So
that's a lot compared to what I've got. So that's
yeah, I know it is a lot of money, but to spending 10 years of your life trying to find it for $1,000 a year, not quite worth it. But I mean, I'm looking at, obviously the stand-up tour is very much on the cards, and I'm thinking of potentially doing a £2,500 treasure hunt, and the clue is only going to be given to those who come to the live show.
Oh,
that's a possibility.
Yeah, that's great.
That would be amazing.
The issue, the issue I have there is that obviously people will see the shows at different times, and so how I can make it totally untime sensitive is a different conversation to have.
Could you maybe email the clues when you purchase your ticket?
Ooh.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
good.
And then
That
have
is
like
good.
an NDA to not share the clue.
Matt,
but
did you
but
do
then-
3 tickets in the town?
Force us all into legal contracts.
I don't want to get 200 people to sign an NDA every time they leave the auditorium. That's going to be an issue.
I think we've earned the right to a intimate stand-up show from
That
yourself.
sounds
with
Great idea.
Max, put it on your YouTube.
And Brad
No,
Johnson,
I
Brad
don't have any of
Johnson
my
can be
material
your
here, lads.
opener.
I'm so sorry.
Brad
Is
Johnson
there going
can
to
be
be
the
like?
opener.
Is there going to be a trailer to the live show on the YouTube, just potentially?
Yes,
You shouldn't.
I'm
You
planning,
should.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
gonna
yeah, I
plan
didn't
to
mean to
do
go
like I'm gonna do a like this video is gonna delete itself in 24 hours kind of thing. So I've seen
Oh,
YouTubers
lovely.
do that before. And so it's those people who would like be always watch a video are the ones who would kind of get first dibs, and then we'll see how badly or well that goes, and then I'll probably put like trailers and bits
Very
beforehand.
smart.
But yeah, you're right. I've
Um,
no idea how people are gonna respond.
Max, you should just
Max,
not reveal the location of it and then like give clues so they actually have to find where you do the show.
No, I'm terrified that no one's gonna turn up anyway, so I can't be doing any of that.
Aw,
Could I ask
Max,
a very quick question?
Sorry, there was
can,
one more question before
yeah.
you.
Was well, I'm trying to remember who it was.
I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, it was
I was just
Tamsin.
gonna ask a stupid question. I was just gonna say, is there gonna be a stand-up thing? Are you gonna do one of them in Devon just because no one ever comes here?
I think the closest I'm gonna come to Devon is probably Bristol, unfortunately.
Bristol.
Um,
Okay.
I mean, I know that's not that close. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's close enough. You're right.
The winner of the money,
Yes.
I'm gonna do like sort of like an interview video and finally give someone a social plug.
That's very good. No, it would be really funny if they got £10,000 and didn't get a social plug. The problem is the problem with this is a bit of an exclusive. The problem with the social plug like joke on the channel is that when I first started doing Spy, like Private Eye, the Private Eye series with like Davina De Campo and Steve the Madman, that was produced by another company. So they basically said to me, "We'll pay for it all. You just you can have the content." So I was like, "Great," but it meant that they had paid all of the creators to turn up on the day, which meant that they felt really. I said to them, "Can I please like cut it in the edit?" They were like, "No, it's really awkward. It's the reason why they're here. They want to plug something," and so I had to find myself like having to let them plug something, which completely ruined the whole joke on the channel. So. It slightly undermines the whole joke on the channel that I don't let people plug things when there are 4 episodes on the channel where people are plugging away.
I think the only thing you actually plugged was like that dog at that convention.
Yeah.
The guy Archie who you let him plug his Spotify, didn't you?
Oh yeah, Archie Valentine. He was a guy I just met on a night
Yeah,
out.
that's-
Bless him. He was so sweet, and it's actually apparently it's done really good things for him. Like people are now listening to his music and enjoy it, so that's good.
Awesome.
I don't think you need to take the joke that seriously. I mean, as long as it's still there.
Yeah.
Can I ask a hypothetical? Can I ask a hypothetical? If you were to find yourself with a bit of time on your hands, you decided you wanted to do a bit of woodworking, maybe make yourself, I don't know, like a bird table or something. What type of wood would you feel yourself drawn to make such a thing out of?
Well, I mean, this reminds me of my kind of design technology days back at school, the DT. I'm hardwood being a very I mean it's not a type of wood, but it's a genre of wood. Oak would be probably my go-to. Willow as well. I'm a big cricket fan, so probably willow. Is the answer.
What about maybe a wood type that begins with B?
No.
What? Branch.
Would you make a treehouse out of branches? No, beech wood.
Beech wood. Oh right,
Embarrassing that
okay.
you don't know what kind of types of wood there is.
No, I mean not beginning with B. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't.
Right, could I ask a quick question?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether beech wood. I don't know. Sorry. Yes. What was your question?
Yeah. How when you thought about doing this riddle thing, how long did you think it would take for people to actually get it?
Doesn't know.
I don't know. Like Mystery Man was slightly my guide on this. I sent actually the first clue out to a friend of a friend who's a big puzzle head, and he got the first clue. I didn't tell him whether he got it right, but he responded with the correct answer immediately. So I was like, okay, right, maybe this is going to be really, really quick. But obviously, the first clue is probably the easiest of the 3. And so obviously it's taken. I mean, it hasn't taken much longer than I was expecting because I only released the 3rd clue 5 days ago. So I've got to have a little bit of patience.
It's been
Mm.
5 days already.
Is so coming out of each clue, and you mentioned yesterday in the live stream about the answer for clue 2, clue 2A and clue 2B being the same.
Yeah.
You might not be able to answer this question, but is that one answer or two, not different, but like, should we be looking for one answer out of each thing, or could there be potentially 2 ways of getting to the money? Like, could each question have 2 potential answers?
I don't think I understand what you mean. So are you saying that the
So
2
as a
clues have
theory,
separate
as an
answers?
So if they're the same answer on 2A and 2B, but on each of the questions, so question 1, question 2, or clue 1, clue 2, and clue 3, could you potentially get 2 answers out of each one that could lead you to the money in 2 different ways? Or are we looking for one route to get to the money with each of the clues having like either one word, or it could be, I guess, more than one word to guide us to that?
Yeah, I think, right. I think that you're slightly probably getting confused. Well, not confused, but I can totally understand why.
I can imagine I am. I spend most of my time very confused.
Clue 2A. Oh, all right, go on then. Clue 2A and 2B both give you the same answer, right? Now, that does not mean that clue 1A has a 1B and clue 3A has a clue 3B. It purely means that there is one answer to each clue.
Yeah, no. What I mean is, so clue 1. So let's say I'll share my theory on this one because I've said it enough. My theory is you can work it out by a location and also by what 3 words clue. So in my mind, clue 1, clue 2, either one, and clue 3, you can get both a location and a what 3 words potential word out of it.
Okay, I'm not going to answer that because that's too much information. But I think you should stick to. No, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I'm not. No comment. No comment. No comment.
With a question from chat first before we move on. There's a few people in no mic. Someone's asked, "Will you ever go on the Minecraft server we set up here, Matt?" Smiley face.
I've never been on Minecraft, but yeah, if you wanna take my kind of Minecraft virginity, you can be.
And then a follow up from me. Did you get a chance to watch Bo Burnham's new special? And if so, what did you think?
I did. I watched it intensely. It's incredible. Just the idea that somebody spends a year on a piece of footage that's only an hour long, I find just bonkers. Being someone who kind of obviously like constantly has to churn out 10 minutes every week.
It's traumatic as I did.
Yeah, I didn't know whether he was okay.
Yeah.
And I'd say what was really interesting, actually, this I find the most interesting. You know the bit where, sorry if anyone who hasn't seen it, but the bit where he says that he starts the sentence over and over again and like cocks up multiple times and ends up getting really angry at himself.
Yes.
That is genuinely what it's like talking to camera at my kitchen table. Like I do that all the time. So that I felt that was kind of an incredibly real moment and one that I kind of assimilated with a lot.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Can you release a blooper reel of like all your editing, just like a blooper reel?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the problem is that it wouldn't do particularly well on YouTube, so I could probably put it in here, but it'd probably require me quite a lot of work. So yeah, if I've got the time, I'll definitely get around to it.
So also within that, there are people, including myself, that believe that Brad Johnson is the font of all knowledge and also your ear on the ground and is recording some of our conversations. Now, that would be a hell of a lot of stuff to go through, and the amount of it that is absolute rubbish would be very, very high. However, if that is the case and you want to do a blooper reel of this Discord channel, my God, there would be some amazing things in there.
I'm sure there would be. I mean, you were right the other day when you were suggesting that I was potentially listening and gathering information or just recording. I was doing just that because I thought it would be fun to get a 45-second just clip of what the Discord was like. But yeah, I think that's the extent of the role that the Discord is going to play in the final video, which is just going to be a 12-second clip of what it was like. So I think if Brad Johnson is recording this entire Discord server, he's got to have a pretty big hard drive.
Yeah, I'm just looking through.
Going from that, with all of so we must have the first clue. You don't have to answer anything that I'm about to ask.
And I'm not going to answer anything.
If we've got the first clue and we're stuck on the second and third one, then are you aware or unaware, or are you aware if anyone's close to the second or third clue? Like, is anyone close? Obviously, you can't answer that, can you?
I can answer that. Somebody was very close, if not correct, with either the second or third clue in a recent thing that I saw on either the Discord or the Reddit. I'm not going to say which one, but there was somebody who was correct with both the first and or the second and third clue.
Was it voice or written?
No comment.
It must have been written.
Max, can I ask a
But
question?
we've got some.
It was
We've got some other things in the text chat that I just want to quickly. Cree asked, Max, in school, were you more of a geography or a history fan?
I was a history fan, definitely.
Good. Stephen James Dent asks, Max, are you able to tell us if the answer will give an exact location or will need to be a little bit of a search within the area?
The answer gives an exact location.
Nice. And
Where
then the
briefcase
final one I've got here is. Oh, I can hear my own voice.
Probably Kyle again.
Someone says they found location of put screenshot on Reddit.
I'm sorry, there's lots of echoing. I'm not sure whose fault that is. It's probably mine.
This is probably someone being a bit of a weirdo, but they've just put on Reddit like a screenshot of something called fucking Majestic Wine, somewhere in fucking Darlington, and they've just said,
Right.
"Oh, that's where it is. Go get it."
Right, if you want to listen to random people on the internet who have not showed any working whatsoever, please be my guest.
I'm not going to do that. I've got a Majestic Wine down the road from me.
Smeders also says, Max, I think you need Waistcoat Dave to do some voiceover work on your vids. Honestly, how are you not in radio? So if you won't give me a shout out, my God, I'm going to give
I'm not
myself
sure in this chat.
Max,
You
can
might
I
be.
ask-
But Waistcoat Dave has been very, very, very vocal on potential leads that he's got. In which case,
I am Waistcoat Dave. You're talking about me, buddy.
There you go. I mean, you have been very vocal on your various theories and stuff, but as you can imagine, I cannot tell you anything whether you are correct or incorrect.
No, quite. But will you give me some radio work? Do you need any voiceover on a
Mate,
video coming up?
I'm
And,
currently trying to find radio work for myself, lad.
there you go.
Thanks,
There you go, buddy.
Can I ask a question?
Okay. What's the
idea
idea?
would be good for your promoing your stand-up.
Yeah,
I think
please.
if you did a video where you did a stand-up show in the most, like I did a stand-up show in the most remote location in the UK, and then even if you only did it to one person, I think that'd be very good content. And at the end of it, you could very much be like, I'm actually doing a full tour. I'd hope I don't get one person only. Come fill the seats and stuff like that.
That's a really brilliant idea. I really like that because it's a little bit like I can see the thumbnail as well, doing kind of like in the middle of nowhere with one seat with one person. The thing is,
I don't think
the person
a
who
stand-up
finds
show
the
with
money.
one person will be very good, but you could do like a little booth where you do one-on-one jokes or something.
that's quite good. My thing is that I have no idea how well the stand-up's going to sell, so I could put it on sale. And it does really, really well, in which case I probably won't need to do that. But in the likely event that it's not going to do particularly well in terms of sales, then I will definitely take that on board.
Max, can I ask a question, please?
Sorry.
Yes. Who was that deep voice?
You may recognize. Well, you probably don't. But I sent you a few emails recently.
Okay. Did I respond?
Do you remember me?
Well, don't say, do you remember me?
Okay.
Like.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I was just gonna ask a question. Just, I'm not sure if you can give too much details or anything, but do we definitely need like a map, like whether online or physical? Do we definitely need a map to solve it or not?
Oh gosh. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say no because like you're probably gonna need a map to tell you where to go to in the car or from the walking or from the train station. So, I mean, I can't assume that everybody is just total mapless in this world.
Could you do it without a map? That's what I'm asking.
No comment.
Max, I've got sort of a personal question.
Yeah.
Why did you have to release this while I'm trying to write my dissertation?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Also, who's Stephen Dent? Because he's just that's a really weird thing he's put in the chat. That's where I used to have dinner when I was at school. So thanks for that. It's not there. It's not there.
Max, may I ask, do you think that from solving those clues, we would be 100% confident that the money is in that location and it would be worth, let's say, a 10-hour drive because we would 100% know that's where it is?
Yes, I think that once you see the location, it should make sense why it would be there.
Is it the YouTuber creator space in the centre of London?
That's
Yes.
closed.
Yes, that's actually exactly where it is, guys. Guys, make sure you put that in the Reddit. I've confirmed where the treasure is. It's at the YouTuber.
If somebody finds the case and they open or whatever, they look at the case, do they have to stand there, open it, realize that this is it? Are you going to jump out a bush? Is someone going to come and like collect you? Like, what's going to happen?
I have not been. I'm currently on a train from Norwich back down to London. So yes, I haven't been live streaming for the last 2 weeks from a bush opposite the briefcase.
Could you imagine though? You're just sat there, you open the briefcase, and behind you, you hear a sinister. On today's episode of Street Smart.
Yeah.
I guess what my question is if somebody finds in this group 10 grand in a suitcase, they're gonna want to kind of move away from that location and probably get back in their car and move pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Is that something we should be doing, or should we be hanging around in that space for something to happen?
No, once you've got the briefcase, that briefcase is all yours, buddy. I mean, there is, as I said, there is information that will lead me, that will make me know almost exactly when the briefcase has been found. And so, but afterwards, like once I've been confirmed that the money has been found through legitimate means, then the money is all yours.
Do we have to agree to like
What
a
is
GDP?
the contingency for someone finds it, but it turns out they've done it in a dodgy way? But say they're like fuck off, I'm keeping the case. What is like your contingency?
That will become clear once the money has been found.
Working off of that, obviously we've talked before about the risk of just a member of the public walking across it. Can you say if it hasn't been found because like no one has come across it, or if like members of the public have and you've just managed to like deal with those situations as they've come up? So like, yeah, have people found it and you've just managed to kind of fob them off and said, look, I'm doing a video, leave it alone?
Currently, nobody has found the briefcase.
I have a question about, do we need to know who you are? Because I've recruited my mum and sent her all the clues, and she's coming back with ideas. Okay.
No, you do not need to know who I am in the slightest.
To be fair, I've literally had like bosses, managers at both my workplaces just like asking them like, "Oi, literally a few of my mates in Oxford Uni like were literature students. I was like, guys, like, do you see anything in this?
Do you at least need to know your name?
Sorry, what was that?
Do we at least need to know your name?
No.
Oh shit!
Everyone's erupting right now.
Oh no!
Get to the tail camera.
Oh no!
However, I will say, remember, you don't need to know my name, no. But when you need to kind of prove to me that you found it correctly for you to keep the money. So
that's not the issue. You've just like in that statement you've ruled out. You've just ruled out maximum.
Yeah.
Why have I ruled out maximum?
Because me would be max. You would need to know your name.
Well, no. You said if you found the briefcase, would you need to know my name?
No, it was on about if you knew to solve the clues, would we need to know your name?
Right. Stop trying to bloody tangle me and not say that.
Sorry,
Matt,
Matt, if you do want to move on from that. So if I was to figure out the clues and find the briefcase, would I need to know a passcode to get into the briefcase? Do we need to phone you on Instagram? Do we need to get in contact with you straight away? Like,
It's a good question, but unfortunately, all this question is completely moot. The information, you will know exactly what to do when you have the briefcase. When you get to the briefcase, you will know what to do when you get to the briefcase, and that's only applicable to one person.
Then
Whether that
climb
person,
the nearest giant hill and scream I'm a celebrity.
Max,
Thank you.
yeah,
Max.
Are you? Wait, someone
yeah,
else?
yeah, go for
Sorry,
it.
Yeah,
Go,
go
go.
for it, go for it.
If you like, say someone somehow miraculously finds this suitcase, do you think they would? Are you not worried that they'd have a period of time where they can be like, oh, yeah, I found it, like in a really weird way, like not the way that they think, like they might have stumbled upon it thinking of something else. Do you think they'd have time to try and think and figure out the correct answer, or
No, I don't think that they would be able to kind of blag to me that they have found it legitimately in the time that they find it. No, it means
Do you
they would
think
have to. I mean, they could,
what if we-
they could potentially work backwards, but if you'd have to do that very quickly.
So, sorry, are you
What if we
suggesting
think we've done
that?
it, but we actually do stumble across it and our answers are wrong?
So,
That's
sorry,
that's a separate issue.
what would happen if someone moved the briefcase? Not opened it, just moved it.
Well, then I'll be fucked, won't I?
Okay.
Matt.
Actually, no, hold on. I wouldn't be screwed up. It would just screw up the whole treasure hunt.
Okay.
Just
Just because
ruin
I
it.
think some people were worried about someone could literally just pick it up, move it, and ruin it.
Imagine
Yeah,
the
like-
briefcase is actually in like a fucking bin lorry in some random scrapyard right now.
Yeah, I mean, look. This is all totally irrelevant because I've put various measures in place for this not to happen.
He's got a few blokes in villages watching for snipers,
Will does the clues
Max?
lead us directly to the briefcase, or does the clues lead us to something that will tell us where the briefcase is?
The clues lead you directly to the briefcase.
Why?
Matt.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Max? Are you sure? You're sure? You're sure?
Yes,
I think you need to clarify that one a few more times.
I am 100%. You guys are all just asking, like, why are you asking these questions? You'll be asking questions about clues,
Okay,
anything. But
Because
you're
you
trying
won't
to
answer
those.
You're trying to bamboozle me.
Okay, I've got a question. You said it is accessible to everyone, yes?
Yes, it is.
I don't have a car. How far would I have to travel to say it's in like on the border of Scotland? I live in the south as you can get. It's not. I wouldn't say it's feasible for me to make the journey. Would you?
No, hold on. No, hold on. It is feasible for you to make the journey. But
It
whether
is.
you want to make the journey
Okay.
is a different matter. Like totally, I cannot possibly comment on your desire to go get it, but
Of
it is
course.
accessible to you.
Okay. So
To be
that was
fair,
sort of the
Charles,
question. Yeah.
To be fair, you're still going to profit if you have to get the train from the south to the Scottish borders.
Exactly.
10 grand, you're still making a profit out of that.
So I've got a question about like the legitimate, like, are we having to rely on information that might be time sensitive or have been removed by a third party?
No, this information is. I could do this for the next 100 years, and the briefcase will be fine.
Do
we need to have good general knowledge?
Or wordplay?
No, we had a question of someone who's trying to get involved there. 1 second.
That
Do
was
we have
me.
good-
So-
Yes.
sorry.
What was your question?
Hi, Max. I was wondering how you are.
I'm
But
well,
I don't know if you can answer this. But my question is if there is a single word answer to each clue.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
No comment.
Max, what shoe size are you?
He's a size 10.
Max, I have a really stupid question.
Yeah.
The
They're the best
poems
types, yeah.
seem, the clues seem very kind of creepy and kind of personal. Are they about anyone in particular, or because you're talking about mum and then dinner and
No, they were all. I mean, I do have dinner and I have a mum, so yeah, they are. They
Max,
are.
are you into French incest?
No. What a weird question.
Max, are you in Clue 3 specifically? Are you asking Brad Johnson out on a date?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, thought so.
I knew he had something to do with it.
We want
Max,
Brad Johnson has put a question in chat in general chat. I can't make head or tails out of it.
What's
though.
it say?
So somebody else might. Well, it's Yugoslav.
Yes, I know exactly what he means.
Yeah.
Max, if it's a cryptic clue, yeah, is with normal cryptic crosswords and like wordplay and stuff like that, there's usually indicator words within there that would allow you to know which type of, like, if it's an anagram or if it's anything like that. Would there be any indicator words in any of the clues of this particular treasure hunt?
There are confirmers. There are confirmers in the clues. Yeah, there are confirmers in the clues.
Max, do you like the Grand National?
I watch it once a year. Yeah, sure.
I suppose
Da
there's some
Vinci
of us who
Code.
watch it twice a year.
For those of you who watch it on repeat.
record it and then watch it again.
Did you just say?
I know who's going to win this. I've got a feeling. I know who's going to win.
Max,
Okay.
do you?
Could I put in and ask a question? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, is there only one word that we get from each clue, or is there more than one word that we can derive from each clue?
That is Katrina. I don't know what your name is. I think it's Katrina, but my answer to that is no comment. Unfortunately, that gives away far too much information.
Thank you. That's very helpful. Thank you.
So Dan from Exeter in Hug General has just said, "Shout out to Max, no comment, Fosh."
There you go. That's my,
Max,
that's
did you-
actually my middle name.
That's just old me being a bit cheeky on the general chat.
What you
Max,
like?
did you figure out the answers to the clues without any help?
No. Mystery Man had to talk me through it very slowly.
Shit.
But that's mainly
Max, would you like a yum yum? I've got some yum yums here.
God, the yum yums are fun.
Dave.
I was say, what was that, Patrina? You want me to send you one?
No,
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll bring you one next time we meet up.
Let's do that.
Yum
Answer, Max. Max, if I won and I was like, okay, let's go for a pint, Max, to celebrate, would you?
Yeah, I think if you won 10 grand, I think I would clear my schedule and have a pint, definitely. But you'd have to come to me. You'd have
And
to come
also,
to
you've
me.
won the 10 grand, you're paying. Like,
Exactly.
Max, you'd be a gold digger.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's slightly a gold digger with my money though, so I'm not sure.
Can you be a gold digger if you're the one who buried it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, this is a good question in the chat. This is a good
Matt.
question. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, not that it's related to any of the clues or anything, but like when you were coming up with this idea, if like you came up with it, were you sort of thinking of it based on like the Da Vinci Code, National Treasure? Were you kind of, before you'd even started making the clues, were you kind of thinking on those lines of like?
Remember, guys, I didn't make the clues. Mystery
Well, the
Man
idea
made
of the video.
the idea basically stemmed from Forrest Fenn. So the who you can do your own digging on, and that's why they're mainly poems. Clue 2 was going to be a poem, and you have now Clue 2, the extra clue. But I wanted it to be turned into an audio clue to make it more Max Fosh centric, because I didn't want people who had never seen any of the videos before to understand or solve it without actually knowing anything about me. But obviously that's become too tricky. Hence
How
why
long did that take you to remake the clue via audio? Was that like a long process, or did you actually do that quickly?
That was Mystery Man, who did it in about 2 hours.
So
Wow,
sorry,
okay.
you just said that. My question is, did you use the original poem that you then translated into the audio clue, or
Yes,
did you?
correct.
Okay.
So it was initially going to be 3 poems. I then said, I want there to be at least one of the clues to be slightly different to make it a little less monotonous, because I was worried that, let's say, people who don't do well with kind of word clues would do well with something else. So I wanted to add a little bit of variety.
Mate, I don't do well with words in general, let alone word clues.
Exactly.
So this is
we've got a question in writing. Is this accessible to international people who might not have much knowledge of UK history / culture?
Yes, it is accessible to anybody who can speak English.
There's another question in chat that tagged me in to ask you, which is the order of the clues important? For example, if clue 3 was released first, would it still make sense?
No comment on whether they are important. However, all 3 clues are needed to find the treasure.
I've got a question. Sorry.
And I'm just going to say this is the last one. I've just got to Liverpool Street and I need to get on the tube, and I'm currently stood here, look like an absolute melon. So yes, last question.
Sorry, I was just going to ask. Do you keep your eggs in the fridge?
Wow.
All right, there you go. That's the last question.
Wow.
The answer is I hate eggs. I actually hate eggs. I haven't eaten eggs since I was 5 years old.
Oh my god, poor egg.
And you know what? I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more question because that was a terrible question.
Max, what is your opinion on Trent Alexander-Arnold pulling out the Euros?
I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm a big Reece James fan. He needs to start at right back. What a player! What a man! Thank you very much.
Wow.
Wow.
And he left at that.
We should have.
And he's just ruined everyone's theories.
So hang on a minute. So one of the big key